How everybody doing? It's Chris Drummond from Progressive Action. I apologize for doing this live. I know everybody watching football, but if I don't do it now, I ain't gonna have a chance because I got some running around to do, and there's some things I want to say. First of all, let me say about our brother LaShawn Craig, and Sean, apologize for butchering your name on the last live a couple of lives ago. I might do it again. You all know how I am with the English language. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But I spoke to our brother, and my brother said everyone who wants to call him, feel free to give him a call. He was just trying to, you can understand, he was trying to get all his affairs together. Because everything that's went on, everything that's going on. And in regard to our brother, LaShawn Craig, this is not just his fight. He's representing all of us. He represents us in terms of integrity. He represents us in terms of his work ethic. He represents a lot of us in terms of our community. So, Craig shouldn't be in this alone. He has a GoFundMe from front line to the home front. And I know everybody has their personal responsibilities. It's Christmas, the holidays. We have our bills. But I implore everybody to make a contribution to our brother. Because this could have been any one of us. I mean, we all say to ourselves, we're not going to get diabetes. We're not going to get high blood pressure. We're never going to get injured. We're never going to get cut. We're never going to get shot. We're never going to get terminated. We're never going to be brought up on charges. And everything is good until it ain't. We detach to everything until it happens to us. Our brother was protecting himself, and he had the right to protect himself. And we all have a right to protect ourselves. This god-awful town, everything is happening right now. No cops. A lot of the folks who have no respect for the law, criminal is the purge right now. Everybody's going amok. And like I said, we don't have a right to protect ourselves. And God rest the soul of that gentleman who Sean had to do what he had to do. But we could be talking about LaShawn being dead right now. We could be talking about talking about his funeral arrangements, where they're gonna have the wake or the repast right now. Our brother did what he had to do. Like every one of us have a right to protect ourselves, our homes, and our families. Now go to do whatever you can. Go to that brother's GoFundMe. He's gonna need to defend himself vigorously. He's gonna need some top flight counsel. And he needs your help. Whatever you can give with his GoFundMe. From front line to the home front. LaShawn Craig. Let's help our brother. Because if you know that brother, thousands, hundreds of us that know that brother, he would be doing everything in his power to help us right now. And what I wanted to talk about, too, is this workers' compensation 24/7 concierge program. They talking like this is the Centurion card. It's all fancy, ain't it? Like this is the American Express Centurion card. Or this the Four Seasons in Florence, Italy, or Greece, or some exotic location. But let me read Corvallis Corporation's mission statement. Our ultimate goal, and this is in relation to this new workers' compensation 24 hours concierge program. Now Transit itself is dealing with our comp. So let me listen to the company that they hired. This is their mission statement. Our ultimate goal is to maximize potential. We do that by starting at the heart of any business. People. We help our clients provide comprehensive care to their employees while reducing costs and improving outcomes. Because when people are well, businesses thrive. And this is another part of this. Carvel uses a proprietary claim system that helps reduce the amount employees pay out, MTA, in workplace injury claims, and encouraging employees to get back to work faster. This is from them. This is what they about. Transit don't care about our well-being. This is about an uptick in IODs and injuries. This is about us getting back on our train, on our bus, in our crew room, in the tower, in flagging quarters, in the barn. Grab your broom and mop and get to work. This ain't about our well-being. This is about us getting back to work. And now, they gonna determine. Y'all got that booklet? Read the booklet. The book, and ask anyone you know. Registered nurse, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, doctor if you know any. This is absurd. Because if I get hurt and I'm bleeding and I'm traumatized, I'm calling 911. What am I waiting for them to determine what hospital I go to? And that's what this coming is about, brothers and sisters. Now they got hundreds of IME. They gonna make decisions on our health and our well-being in real time. And you should read this. I just read a little bit more for you. Use of a Carvel network doctor is mandatory for the first 30 days. After 30 days from initial treatments, employees, may opt out of the Carvel network if they choose. Now, if they choose, it should end right there. But they go on to say, to opt out, employees will notify the MTA for what? What I got to notify the MTA about my medical decisions, how I'm feeling? Think about that. And the MTA will have the right to require a second opinion from a Carvel network medical provider. This is managed care. Same thing they did with the retirees. That's what they're fighting. This our union was blessings, brother. So transit, this is fundamental rights that transit is now taken out of our hands. And they're doing this not because they care. It's about the uptick in IODs. Think about it, brothers and sisters. Our brothers and sisters ain't getting comp as it is. Talk to people. Ain't got comps in as far back as I heard recently. Ain't got comps since April. Some people been fighting for a year. I just heard somebody tell me April recently. But I get calls in here about that. Now we putting it in their hands. Now they want more control over our lives. And they're going to determine if we in pain or we traumatized. I could read this all over. I copied a lot of it, but you should read it. You should read it. So you got 30 days. After 30 days, you can seek a second opinion, go to another doctor. But that first doctor might say, you're fine. That's not a severe sprain. That fracture will be, whatever happens, you can have therapy for 6 weeks. And you probably should be out 18 weeks. They don't care about our pain. They don't care about our discomfort. They don't care about us being injured. And this is it, too. New York State law say they can challenge our claims. And they know that. Employers can request that their insurance challenge. Employers can request that their insurers challenge the compensability of a claim where appropriate. They're going to make everything appropriate. And the employer can challenge a claim for a variety of reasons. Injury did not occur at work. The employee did not employ the worker. The claim is outright fraudulent. So if there's no witnesses, we're lying. And this is about. They're going to determine if we hurt. And if we hurt, how long we stay out. They're doctors. They're IME. I don't know how they're going to finesse doing IODs on the record. And they want to deter us from reporting these injuries. That's what these folks is at 2 Broadway doing. That's what they're trying to figure out, how to get us back to work. How to make sure we don't go on IOD. Better yet, how to deter us, for going out on IOD, because it's going to be such a headache, we ain't going to want to do it. Such a rigmarole. We're going to have to go through so many hurdles to go out on comp. This is their plan. And I was reading websites who dealt with this company, law firms. They said that one company in Texas said companies like Corvell are experienced in settlement negotiations, legal actions, and building claims that are favorable to their client. Their client in this case is Transit. So I say to you, and I say to the Stand United supporters, and people say, maybe it ain't so bad. People say, yo, Drummond's so cynical. Why is he being so cynical? Let me ask you this. Well, why didn't the union give us a heads up? And I'm reading. Why wasn't they coming to our crew rooms and telling us what's going on in the depots and barns? It's about to happen. We got this November 22nd. Most of us got the email, all of us. And they implemented it the 27th. We got a 5-day heads up on this. They just rammed this down our throat, and that's exactly what they did. They wanted to catch us off guard. So, okay, where was the union? Union supporters, TW Local, where was they? Why didn't anyone know about this? Why was we ambushed with this? Why didn't we get a heads up on this? I went in the crew room. There was 30 posters in one crew room. And in regards to RTO, change your pick. End the pick celebration at the Union Hall. Super Bowl party. Christmas party. Nothing was up there about this. No information about this. And like I said, you talk to any medical professional, they'll tell you how bad this is. How perverse. We have a right to call an ambulance. We have a right to say we're going to this hospital. We shouldn't have to stop while we bleeding, hurt, scared, traumatized. The call lay number, and later on, they gonna make a determination on how workers' comp should be applied. What transparency mean? Just mean honesty. Where's the transparency from this union? I'm making this up. I'm lying. I'm starting trouble. We've been sold out yet again, and they say it ain't no give back. This ain't a give back. They fundamentally changing how comp work. This ain't going on citywide, I don't think. And if it is, it's an assault on working men and working women. That's a fact. This union keep doing this to us. They don't even say pilot program anymore. Just do it. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. And I got some more to say about this. Oh, let me talk about the charges on me. The charges, the frivolous charges. But it's fine. I'm not upset about it one bit. I'm going to handle it, though. But some of these VPs who I had some interaction with, and I don't blame, some of these Z-Board members don't know the bylaws. Some don't even know a lot. Listen, the contract is like reading, it's just a work in progress. You got to keep reading that contract and study them bylaws. Some folks, God bless them, and I respect the hell out of them, excuse my language, that they know the bylaws and the contract, back and forward. That says a lot about them. But let's talk about JP and buses. I forget, Palafala, I can't pronounce his name, but they call him JP. He's VP of buses. Let me say this. On the 9th floor, he's a mole. He voted to bring charges against me. VP of buses, MTA bus. He's a mole. They don't even respect him up there. He absolutely, just 3 or 4 people will destroy him the next election. He will not be VP. I can't speak for nobody else other than Canelo. He won't be VP either. But JP is someone they don't respect up there. They think he's a mole. He's not even in the club no more. They won't even talk around. They won't even share things out. Talk to some of these reps in different departments. He's a pariah, Stand United. Within Stand United. But he has no principles. He has no integrity. He has no honesty. He's corrupt as the rest of them. And Vice President Shirley Martin, CD. I don't know sis like that. We had some conversation. She's a hard-working woman. She worked her way up, coming in from Jamaica and, being discriminated against, being an immigrant coming in and being a woman. Back then, she fought her way through with the help of Nelson Rivera. Nelson Rivera is revered in CED. And if you talk to people who work with, they're the most educated reps there are. He had a very tight department. And I wasn't friends with Nelson Rivera either. We talked occasionally. I asked him questions. He made sure to educate you. If you was there around when he was speaking, he would educate him. But I did watch that man who was dying work harder than any rep I ever seen in my life. He was dying. And he was one of the most hardest work. He's the hardest worker, most dedicated rep I ever been around. But Shirley Martin, if y'all don't know, back in the days, Samuelson tried to destroy when Nelson was VP. They tried to destroy Nelson. Took his officers. Took everything he was entitled to as a VP because he was a man of integrity. And this union tried to destroy him. And everybody knows it. Ask. Tried to destroy. This union tried to bring Nelson Rivera to his knees. And he stood strong. And I always use him as a model because if I was elected office, I would be just like Nelson Rivera. They can't break me and you wouldn't break me. Damn your money. Damn your cars. Damn whatever perks you give up. I'm a man and I'm going to stand up for what's right. That's me. But sis, Miss Martin, you seen what they did to Nelson. You seen the corruption and how unethical they was. And you watching them do it to me and you voted on their behalf. And all your VPs, y'all know the bylaws is nothing about, and y'all voted in their behalf to bring charge on me. Sis, they're not doing what they did to Nelson. It's corruption. They trying to stop me nevertheless. And you know that, sis. And you bear witness to what they tried to do to Nelson. And you still voted for him? That's what corruption does. That's what it looks like. That's what happens to people. If you're a sellout, you selling out for money or your own selfish reason. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the definition of being a sellout. And let's talk about Yates, Mr. Half Full. And he's the one that's going to articulate everything with him. Yates, you a coward, bro. You know the bylaws too. And we've had some conversation. And they all know who everybody is. By that, I mean, they know the good reps. They know who the fighters are. Just like they know who the ones that can be compromised. They know they know everybody's DNA in the union. Yates know who I am. He throw the half full. It ain't half. It's all. That cup is full of BS. That cup, that example, you have half full. No, it's all. You know, half this perception and that perception, half cup. No, it's a full cup of BS. It's a full cup of feces and you drink it. Because you know the bylaws and you know I didn't violate no laws. And you went for it anyway. I got no respect for you no more. I lost all respect for you. Because as a man, I don't care. You stand up for what's right. You stand up for unionism. You stand up for democracy. And you didn't do that. What are you? Who are you? Now let's go to another one who I know a little bit. Robert Kelly in Stations. I met Robert Kelly. He came up to me. Hey, brother, he heard me speaking somewhere. I don't know, it was a rally. He said, yo, brother, I just like how you present yourself, man. And I want to just say I respect you. He see him again. What's up, brother? We start talking. You know, they had some people had some problems in station who was trying to come to RTO or something he wanted some clarity on. He would call me. We would talk. Every time I would see him, we would talk, and we developed a relationship. And this man used to say to me, yo, you like a brother to me. He would look me in the eyes and say, yo, I love you. You my man. He would say, look at me, brother. I love you, my brother. He would say. And when he got sick, you know, I'm glad he made it through. I called him and tell him how glad I was so good. Hey, you know, I didn't want to lose that brother. I don't want to lose anybody, anyone. And all the heartbreak and, you know, you remember that environment. I told my brother how glad we needed him and how happy I was that he pulled through it, and I was praying for him. So we had a relationship. I remember one day he came in, and this is some backstory. One of the reasons me and Tremel fell out going towards the election, because he came into 2 Broadway one time and he was upset. And I'm like, what's going on, bro? He said, yo, your man Tremel, man, put out a video on me, and that ain't right. I don't know why that brother got split, but he said that ain't right. So this is my man. I called Tremel, which I had no right to. Tremel has never said anything about it. He never said, don't say this, anything. He don't have anything with the content, I say. I've said things about Tremel. Tremel never even said, yo, why you say that about me? He don't say what to talk, any of that. He don't interfere one bit. But I called him and tried to interfere with what he was doing, and I was wrong. I was 100% wrong for doing that. But he said to me during that call, he said, yo, I ain't doing no Sean Kelly. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I know he was upset because I had no right. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't did a Sean Kelly in 8 months. Sure enough, he hadn't did the show. Somebody called Kelly about the old show. But this is me sticking up for who I thought was my brother. Who I thought was unfair. It was none of my business. But I interfered. And I called Tremel. For nothing. But he came there upset. My brother was upset in that. And he was mistaken. Gave me misinformation. Which I shouldn't have called him about Kelly. And I did. But that's what you do for someone who I perceive was a friend. But he ain't a friend. He's a going on. I'm a sucker. I'd rather be a friend than an enemy. I look for the best in everybody. We're in the same age group. I like them. But he's the type of individual that he just stay under the radar. He don't want to cause no trouble. He's not stepping up. He used to have a broom in his hand. He don't want to be a cleaner no more. Rumor is it's a deal for him to go to management if he loses the election. He got a soft place to land. That's a rumor. I can't confirm or deny. That's the talk on the man. But he don't speak up for nothing. He don't stand for nothing. I knew that in Vegas. Something transpired with Witchard. Now, this the man that came to me to talk to Tremel. Witch had did some real stepping fetching thing in Vegas. Samson had said we was all brothers and sisters here. And I got up on the mic and said, and you only get one shot on the mic. Witchard already said what he had to say. I said, we ain't even speaking to each other here. And we weren't. For whatever reason, there was camaraderie among departments, not RTO. Eric is effective lead. There was no pictures, no t-shirt, nothing. You won't find a picture of RTO from the Las Vegas convention. You can ask Mike Taylor. You can ask everyone that Eric was not a lead. He exhibited no leadership in Vegas. But anyway, after I said there was no camaraderie here, we don't even speak. Black and white folks and like nobody speaking to each other. Which y'all got on the mic to undercut what I said. And he said, brother, you know, folk, he didn't even have to. Samuelson even said, well, we got to do a better job. I'm paraphrasing, better job. And I hear what you saying, brother. That wasn't enough for Step and Fetch. He had to get on the mic and undercut me as a black man. And say, this my feelings. And say, well, brother, you know, people are tired. It has nothing to do with nothing. People are just tired. He didn't have to say a word. But of course, hey, boss. Hey, here I come, boss. boss. Mine's a boss, a good. We got a good boss. Ain't nothing wrong with black folks. We happy black folks. We happy Negroes. And I saw him afterwards, and I saw him in New York. Why? I don't do that. I don't eat. I don't. What did he say? I dance to my own beat. I'm a man of conviction. Could barely look me in the eyes. So I went to Kelly and said, yo, why did this dude do that? He just said, well, that's how he didn't even want to talk about it. This is the same dude that came to me about Tramel and wanted me to rectify that situation. Same dude that fractured my relationship just before the election, who I stuck up for. And he minimized what I was for. He didn't want to talk, so I had nothing to say about which y'all. That's why I knew in Vegas who he was. That was it. That's how I knew who he was. Look at his press conference a few weeks ago, that CBS report on us being assaulted, what he said. He would never say nothing about management. He don't get at management. Our union don't get at management. Kelly just happy to be in the room. I got no respect for you, brother. And it pains me to even put my mouth to say, brother. Had the audacity to wave at me one day a few months ago. You nothing to me. I find you the most phoniest black man one of them I've ever met in my life, in my existence, Robert Kelly. You had the opportunity right there to say, I know that brother. That's a good brother. Because I've told him in his face, he's a good brother. I told that brother I respect him. I told that brother we need more people like him. And you had a chance and you voted to get me charges brought up on me. What are you? Even now I'm trying to think of some words not to really come at you, but you a snake. You the worst. You the worst of everybody you mention. Everybody. Because only people who you like are a little close to can hurt you. Nothing that anybody... Only time I feel hurt down here is with us. Management can't do nothing to me. I get mad. They don't affect nothing other than that. I get upset. But what we have right here, and this is what we have. Totalitarianism. I had trouble pronouncing that word. But let me tell you what it is. A form of government that theoretically permits no individual freedom and that seeks to subordinate all aspect of individual life to the authority and state. Now replace that authority of the state with transit authority and this union. Because what they just did with this this new comp thing with Cobell, they want to control everything about us. Even when we're in excruciating pain. Even when we traumatize, we got to defer to them. They want to control how we feel. And this union want to keep us the way we at. They want to keep us dumb, deaf, and blind. And control everything as well. And let me say this to you, union, and to our brothers and sisters. I'm getting that coat money. You asked for this. I'm getting that cope. And if it opened the floodgates, so be it. I'm getting it. I'm getting that cope. This is just the beginning. So, and let me tell you how this union works. The control. A few years ago, Samuelson went to the International. He installed Utano. So, no vote. He put Utano in there. They used the union resources to get him reelected. We didn't vote. We didn't come out. All we did was complain. We didn't come out. Utano was elected president. Later, meanwhile, Chiarello is his chief of staff and VP of MOW. Now, I don't know if Chiarello was getting a salary. I have no idea. But they put him in place because at first, Chiarello was the heir apparent. He was going to be the next president. So what they do, they bring up Richie Davis. I think that's a Samuelson move. And make him chief of staff. He's still VP at Mastoa. I don't know if he was drawing 2 salaries. So what happens? Earl Phillips. Chiarello falls back. Earl Phillips retires. They make him Treasury Secretary. Richie Davis. No election, nothing. He's Treasury Secretary. Just like when Nelson Rivera died, they made Wichard Administrative VP. No vote, no election. So he's that. He steps up. They take Yates from being chair and make him VP. No election. So he decides, Utano retires. And now they make Chiarello president. No election. They just put him in place. Chiarello goes to Treasury. No, they put somebody, I forget the gentleman's name. They make him VP. Now, Chiarello's top 4. So now what you have? So that's how they do. So now, what's it, Sean Pataglia? He's with Yates now. Now Yates is VP. So I suspect Richie Davis, if he wins, let's hope he don't. If he wins, runs a term or two, and then decides that Yates is going to be the president. Sean Pataglia would then be VP. Yates do a term or two. They all got time here. They all got time. They all got their papers in their pockets. So then Sean Pataglia will wind up being president. That's how they do. It's not a democracy. They just move pieces. And they've been moving pieces. They are loyal to staying in power. They are not loyal to this membership at all. That's the corruption. And they got to stop. And if they don't stop, they got to be stopped. Are we going to stop them? Are we going to step up and stop them? Do y'all see? Or is it just that y'all, just that's it? You know, Tremel talks about Metro North and Long Island Railroad, how they get all the perks. But maybe they fight. If there's anything about black folks in this country, I'm speaking to black folks right now. People know we fight. Everybody around the world knows that blacks in America fight, and we stood up for what's right, and we stand up. What happened to our fight? What happened? You get a little punk money? We barely can live in this town. A lot of us live out of the town. And that's it. Now, as long as they pay me, they can commit any indignity they want to me. They taking our civil rights every day. What happened to our fight? What are we scared of? What we gonna lose? Our ancestors and folks before us, our grandfathers and our fathers, was losing their jobs, losing their liberties, losing their freedom. All we gonna lose is an AVA and a sick day, and we won't fight? Goddamn, excuse my language for Sunday. They don't represent our best interests. They have no convictions. They have no loyalty to unionism. They don't believe in unionism. They believe in staying in power. They want to stay in power at all costs. And they selling us out at, what's up, brother? They selling us out at every turn. At every turn. And let me read this verse. I'm going to read it. You know I was going to read one. Hosea 9, chapter 9, verse 9. They have sunk deep into corruption, as in the days of Gabriel. God will remember this wickedness and punish them for their sins. That's those folks in this union and these folks in transit trying to put their foot on our neck. But our union is allowing them to do it. Let me read it again. Hosea chapter 9, verse 9. They have sunk deep into corruption, as in the days of Gabriel. God will remember their wickedness and punish them for my sin. And Gabriel was in Benjamin. And the story behind Gabriel was, after research, a Levite's wife was brutally raped and murdered by the city's wicked men. This hideous act set off a chain of events that ultimately led to the tribe being wiped out off the face of the earth. And this is analogous. This is what's going on in our union. Maybe the rape is literal. But this union is corrupt and is wicked. They have no respect for anyone and anybody, man or woman. They do not care about our best interests. Allegis, that's the word I was looking for. They do not care about us one bit. Yes, I'm saying they're wicked. They are trying, folks. Y'all know me. Y'all see me. They are trying to get rid of me. And if they do get rid of me, I say to y'all got to step up. Who's going to step up to take my place? Come to the meetings. Tremel might be going, who's going to step up? And I'm saying that you have to step up. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop trying to pretend. Stop trying to pretend that nothing's going on around you. Stop trying to justify what they doing to us. Step up. Come to these meetings. Come to these rallies. Enough is enough. This union is corrupt and they're not going to stop. Like I said, they got to be stopped. And let me say this. Who in the union thought that messing with me is a good idea? And we got something that goes on around transit. Nobody knows anybody. I was praying. I want my spirit of the 80s and 90s to come back because I'm going to need it to fight y'all. I'm an old man now. But I pray Jehovah, give me the strength to have all my faculty, all my sharpness, all my ingenuity to fight Richie Davis, John Chiarello, Tony Utano, John Samuelson, Witchard, LaTanya Crisp, all the VPs that I just named. Give me the strength to fight. I want to go back. Give me the spirit of my dead brothers. Give me the spirit of Chris in the 90s and the 80s. And let's work. Because let me say this, and I'm going to say this calmly. I ain't a tough guy. Far from it. But if you broke Tremel's leg, I think it might be a good idea to kill me. Everybody be safe and take care.